วัสดีค่ะสวัสดีทุกท่านเลยนะคะที่อยู่กันที่งาน Startup Thailand 2018 ค่ะสำหรับท่านใดนะคะที่มาร่วมงานทุกปีจะทราบกันดีค่ะว่าครั้งนี้ถือว่าเป็นครั้งที่ 3 แล้วก็ในปีนี้นะคะเรามาภายใต้คอนเซปต์ Endless Opportunity ค่ะนอกจากนี้นะคะเรามีโซนต่างๆให้กับเหล่า Startup นะคะได้มาร่วมสัมผัสกับประสบการณ์เทคโนโลยีนะคะรวมถึงยังมีหัวข้อที่น่าสนใจซึ่งกำลังจะเกิดขึ้นบนเวทีนี้ค่ะซึ่งเราจะเริ่มกันในช่วงเวลาประมาณบ่าย3 โมงครึ่งต่อเนื่องไปกับหัวข้อที่น่าสนใจจนถึง5 โมงครึ่งของวันนี้เพราะฉะนั้นตอนนี้นะคะท่านใดที่อยู่ใน Panelly Hall แล้วก็อยากจะมาฟังในเรื่องของแรงบันดาลใจประสบการณ์ดีๆจากเหล่าสตาร์ทอัพนะคะที่เขาจะมาพูดคุยบนเวทีแห่งนี้นะคะสามารถแวะมาได้ที่บริเวณด้านหน้าเวทีค่ะกับเวทีของ Smart Stage ค่ะ so Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all shoppers. We would like to invite all of you come back here once again at Smart Stage. In a few minutes, we will have very interesting topic start from 3:30 p.m. onwards with non-stop interesting topic until 5:30 p.m. of today. And in a few minutes, we will have the topic of why tackling climate change is the greatest economic opportunities of our generations. เอาละค่ะนอกจากนี้นะคะใครที่ได้ยินหัวข้อแล้วสนใจค่ะสามารถแวะมาได้ที่เวทีของ Smart Stage ได้เลยนะคะซึ่งในวันนี้ค่ะเราได้รับเกียรติจากวิทยากรนะคะ1 ท่านที่จะมาพูดคุยกับหัวข้อนี้นะคะ So in this topic we have the honored speaker is Vice President of Global Program Clean Tech Opens. Ladies and gentlemen.Please give a big round of applause to welcome Mr. Kevin Braithwaite ขอเสียงปรบมือดังๆต้อนรับ Mr. Kevin ด้วยค่ะ
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here again in Thailand. And really the focus of my presentation today is to really try and do a number of things. First of all, really describe why climate change, while tackling the challenge of climate change, is a huge opportunity for entrepreneurs. It's probably the greatest opportunity of our lifetime and for some lifetimes before that as well. I also want to outline some of the work that I do, my organization and our great partners at UNIDO and the GEF in terms of their global program to support clean tech entrepreneurs. And finally, I'll give you some examples of some great clean tech entrepreneurs, including those from Thailand that are really making the world a much better place. So back in 2015, in December, we had the Paris Climate Agreement, a monumental agreement bringing together about 190 plus countries with the aim of keeping the average temperature rise at under 2 degrees increase over pre-industrial levels. This is great, it's very significant, but the problem is, even at an average temperature rise of 2 degrees, we have some major problems to deal with. Flooding, lack of water, extinction of biological species, this isn't something we want to get to. And the problem is, at this current rate, 2 degrees is a good chance that we'll get to. We really need to be thinking at a much lower average rise than 2%. Beyond just some of these issues, there's also some very major health issues as well. So this is from the World Health Organization that's really describing how, whether it's climate change or pollution, there are some major impacts on the planet. So every year, 4.3 million people die from household air pollution. 3 million more die from ambient air pollution. This is a major issue. And then climate change just makes things even worse. An additional 250,000 additional deaths are going to really happen because of increasing climate change. And this is going to be felt particularly strongly in those countries that have the least resources and funds to deal with this. So very small, developing, and other parts of the world. But the point is, business are realizing that things can't carry on the way they are. It's not business as usual by any means. And in recent months, we've seen some pretty significant changes from large corporations about how they will respond to and how they will tackle climate change. Now, this is in response to both these new regulations, it's in response to the climate agreement, but it's also good business. It makes business sense to make changes to focus on the business, the technologies, and the industries of the future. Now, many insurance companies won't insure coal companies. Volvo is one of a number of car companies that are saying they will stop making petrol-driven cars. They'll be fully electric. And countries such as France are now saying that they will ban sales of petrol and diesel cars by 2040. This is a fundamental change. Now, when it comes to entrepreneurs, an outstanding entrepreneur finds opportunity at the time of greatest adversity and scarcity. Tackling climate change and all of these issues is certainly one of those times. Many entrepreneurs, many high-profile celebrities, such as Richard Branson, recognize that this is an important moment, an important opportunity for big business, for entrepreneurs, for us all. Now, when it comes to rapid change through technology, things can happen very quickly. So the image on the left is of New York, Fifth Avenue in 1900. Now, as you probably can see, it's lots and lots of horse and carriages. And over in the middle of the image there, there's a very faint red circle, and that's the only car currently in that picture amongst probably hundreds of horses and carriages. The image on the right is the same location, Fifth Avenue, but 13 years later. And what's changed? Well, the main thing that's changed is rather than just one car, we basically have cars everywhere. It's very hard to see if there is a horse anywhere at all. So this has been driven by the adoption of the internal combustion engine of entrepreneurs such as Henry Ford. But just look at how rapidly the adoption of new technology came about and all the new businesses and opportunities supporting this new industry. And that's what we need to happen in so many parts of our lives today when it comes to innovating, adopting new clean and green technologies. And this is something that I'm very much focused on, and it's something that our partners at the GEF, the Global Environment Facility, and UNIDO, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, believe as well. So back in 2014, we launched a global program to focus on how can we help entrepreneurs rise to this challenge? How can we help the new generation of clean tech entrepreneurs develop their businesses, find funding, and scale to make a big impact on the environment, on the economy, on the biggest challenges that we face? So thus far, we've worked with over 865 startups since 2014. We're currently going through a process of understanding how these companies are succeeding and what the impact they are having and will have. Just by taking so far just 14 of those companies, we've found some very interesting things. Just 14 of those 865 companies have already created hundreds of jobs. They've generated $23 million in revenue and have the potential to make a big impact when it comes to tackling climate change, for mitigating carbon. And our goal now is, how do we do this for hundreds of other startups? Not just the 865 so far that we worked with, but 1,000 or more companies a year. Now, in terms of my organization, the Cleantech Open, we're one of the partners in this initiative. We've been doing this for over 11 years. We've worked with about 1,500 companies so far, and we've created, or our startups have created, over 3,000 plus jobs. Again, it's good business, it's good economic sense to be in this sector. And annually we bring together 100 startups in this field from around the world in California. We're part of a leading clean tech incubator in Los Angeles called the Los Angeles Clean Tech Incubator, which is really helping to generate LA as a major source of both clean tech innovation, but also adoption of the newest and greenest cleaning technologies, whether it's green buildings or whether it's new forms of electric transportation. We also work very closely with the Network for Global Innovation Engine, another initiative from Lacey that's focusing on connecting these clean tech innovation hotspots around the world to help to accelerate and to build the adoption of these new technologies that we really, really need. And our focus with GSIP, with this Global Clean Tech Innovation Program, is how do we build innovation ecosystems that can really foster and support these clean tech entrepreneurs. How can we help them to scale? How do we help them to find funding, to find customers? And how do we work with the key players, the government agencies, the national labs, and the utilities? How do we bring everyone together for the combined aim of helping to improve the chances of clean tech entrepreneurs to succeed and grow? So far, we've launched the program in 8 countries, and I'm very pleased to say that Thailand is a very important part of the GSIP program. And the vision is to build this to about 20 plus countries around the world, leveraging the network of UNIDO and the funding of the Global Environment Facility, the GEF. Now, when we talk about clean technology, it's pretty broad. These are some of the areas that we focus on in GSIP, everything from the generation of energy, energy efficiency, buildings, wastewater, and now things like transportation and materials. But the list of what is clean technology is pretty endless. In order to really tackle the climate, the energy, the environmental challenges that we face, we've got to reinvent everything. Everything's going to change, whether it's from the products that we consume, the things that in industry we need, the clothes that we wear, everything is in the process of changing for the better. And that provides huge, huge opportunities for entrepreneurs. Now, the GSIP program so far, we've worked with over 865 companies. We've picked them from nearly 5,000 applicants. And from that, we've selected 27 national winners in countries such as Thailand. And this has been our pilot, a 4-year pilot, to see how far can we take this. And the vision over the years to come is how do we scale this to more countries? How do we scale this to 1,000 startups per year? But also, how do we start to really ensure that there's collaboration from entrepreneurs in Thailand with entrepreneurs in South Africa or Turkey or vice versa? That's where we're getting to. A big focus is how do we help to improve the odds of these entrepreneurs to succeed. Now, one thing that we've seen that is also very exciting is the numbers of female entrepreneurs, female-led CEOs that we're seeing in GSIP. Back in 2016, it was around about 20% overall, with some particularly high participation in countries such as Pakistan. And what we've seen is this most recent year, 2017, it's grown to 32%, both overall and in countries such as Pakistan and South Africa. And the reason why I stress this is when it comes to clean tech innovation, there can't be a gender divide. We need to find the best solutions, the best entrepreneurs, regardless of country, regardless of gender, and frankly, regardless of age as well. And that's what we're trying to do with this about, is talking about entrepreneurs. And as you can imagine, with over 865 alumni, I can talk for a very long time about clean tech entrepreneurs. But to begin with, this is Pak from Thailand, our GSIP Thailand 2017 winner. And they realized that as being experts in air conditioning, that basically whether it's air conditioning or water heating, both generate very high or have the potential to generate very high electricity bills. And what they came up with is a solution that basically recovers the heat from an air conditioner and uses it to heat water, so that you're reducing the electricity usage and you're reducing your overall costs. Saves money, helps to save the planet. This is something that's both very applicable to many parts of Thailand, but it's also something that has application in many countries around the world. Examples we see from India, another GSIP company is a company called Agnisimok. Now, Agnisimok is an interesting startup because the founder originally was a civil servant. He was a tax commissioner. A tax commissioner who was very, very passionate and excited about cooking. And what he found is no matter what he did, no matter how carefully he followed his grandmother's recipes, he just couldn't replicate the recipes. He couldn't get a consistent response. And what he found is it wasn't necessarily his cooking, it was the tools he was using. The cooking stove itself was unreliable. It wasn't providing cooking. And what he did, being a true entrepreneur, up with a new type of cooking stove, LG, liquid petroleum gas cooking stove, a new type of heating element that's focused on radiant heat, that's flameless, that's smokeless, that uses 30% less fuel and reduces even the water usage because it requires less washing and less cooking. And this initial innovation that came because the entrepreneur wanted a more consistent and reliable way to cook the meals is now grown into a company that's providing these stoves, these commercial stoves for many, many commercial kitchens across India. So at the moment, 73,000 meals each day are cooked on these Agnisimok stoves. They've grown to about 50 staff. They've raised a significant amount of investment, particularly when it comes to customer validation, and the entrepreneurs in the room will appreciate this. One of their significant investors was a customer that saw the value in the product, went on to invest in the business. And most recently, this company, Agnisimok, has a valuation of 300 million. So to go from a startup with just a few founders into a company operating in India with a valuation of $300 million plus, that's a pretty good, a good success story so far. But that's not it. Agnisimok is now focusing on not only can they be a $300 million company, but how can they be a billion-dollar company? And their aim is to be the first billion-dollar company in our GSIP community, our GSIP portfolio. And their total market size in India is 50 billion, but their focus now is how can they take their product to new countries and new parts of the world. And one of the key things when it comes to supporting entrepreneurs, from being an entrepreneur in the clean tech sector, is it's all about being part of a community as well. And Harry is somebody that hasn't forgot that. So Harry has come back into GSIP, and he's been a judge, he's been a mentor. And even though he's building this 300 million plus company, he came back in August last year to be a mentor in Mumbai. And this is Harry at the moment wading through floodwaters in Mumbai up to his waist to ensure that he gets to the GSIP Academy in time in order to work with his mentors and mentees. And that's really what it's all about. How can we all be part of a community, to be part of a network to really help this goal of creating successful, valuable companies that at the same time tackle the biggest environmental and social and energy challenges that we face. Now, I can talk for literally hours about some of our companies, about some of the examples, but what I'd like to do, maybe in the time that I have left, is take any questions from the audience. Could be questions about clean tech, could be questions about our program, could be questions about entrepreneurship more broadly. I'm happy to take any questions, any comments. Sorry? Fantastic, thank you. That is a great question. So GSIP Thailand is one of the countries participating in the GSIP network. We've had a program operating for 2 years now. We've seen some very interesting, innovative companies from across Thailand. So in a moment, I'll show you. So the website is gsipthai.org. That's the website for the program. It's very much supported by our very good friends at UNIDO, United Nations Industrial Development Program, and the Department of of industrial promotion. But it's an initiative that's tying together a number of leading players and agencies in the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Thailand.
Doing for Thai startup, for example, what are some of the activities that you are supporting
Thank
or
you.
promoting for the
That's a great question.
startup community in
So
Thailand?
what we're focused on in Thailand, but also other countries, is things such as training. How do we help these entrepreneurs to grow through best practices? How do we connect them to mentors, both in Thailand and internationally? How do we connect them to investors, whether it's in Thailand or other parts of the world? We've recently had, for example, one of our winners from GZIP Thailand 2017 PAC, Achara Pumi, was in Vienna at the Vienna Energy Forum to showcase how innovations from Thailand can make an impact around the world. So those are some of the things that we do. The ultimate goal is taking the winners from each country to Silicon Valley, or to California actually, to compete for global prizes, but also to put them on a global stage really. Because our view is that, out of time, our view is that we need solutions technologies from all over the world, and Thailand is a very important part of that. So thank you, I'm out of time, but be a pleasure being here. Thank you.